off to the levity. It's time to kick the can off in gear. How's that for an official call to order? Roll call, sir.
Mr. Gator.
Here.
Mr. Gallo.
Here.
Mr. Butler.
Here. As you wish, please stand for the pledge and the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Dear Lord, please be with us today as we try to make the best decisions for the county and for you to continue to be with us as we go throughout the day and keep us all safe during the holidays, and that everybody can have a Merry Christmas. Ask this in your Son Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. We've got an amendment to the, I always put that on because it's hard for me to say without reading it. Amendment to the agenda, not agenda to the amendment. And it's for approval of a grant from the Sheriff's Department. Do I have a motion to accept this? Added to the agenda. Total amount? Yeah, well, it's, let me bring up that
Yes,
slide.
please, if you don't.
There's a slide for it.
So $494,032. Okay.
And it's 50/50.
Okay. I make a motion that we amend the agenda to put on the Missouri ARPA matching grant for cold and dry stores for $494,432.
50/50.
With a 50/50 grant. Yes.
Okay, second?
I'll second that.
Okay, so all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, so this will be on the regular meeting.
General Business, I just make note that we've been doing more changes to the agenda. Any of these are subject to lawsuit if they didn't appear on the original agenda. So just keep it posted.
But if we put it on the original agenda, nobody can sue us for anything.
They can't sue you for doing it incorrectly, meaning that it was not legal how you did it if it was on the agenda.
But if we amend it, then it's legal.
Not if that.
Gray areas?
It's very gray.
Okay.
If you didn't show it the day before and publicize it, then somebody can challenge that in court. I'm just telling you.
And I can see
understand
where-
some of these things are time sensitive, and I doubt if anybody would ever appeal this or whatever, but you give them legal.
I can see where people would not know about it and some item come up and they want to come talk.
I just remember, I just want to remind people, because we amended, when you amended, you were leaving yourself open to
Okay.
lawsuit.
Now, this is a published consent agenda, and I've since learned that those outdated equipment items were from the IT were printer, monitor, and scanners, 2 broken desks, and 10 PCs.
Hello, Park.
Okay. Motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I'll second.
And I didn't read the rest of it because it has been published and everything's not in the gray area on that. Okay, now here's that amended agenda item. And it's to expand the kitchen sideways, go into what is now the vehicle maintenance area. And it's for cold and dry food storage, additional. And I've got it down there. The remainder of the space will be for evidence storage. And it is a good dry space to do all this stuff. And it's a 50/50 grant, so if we're approved of that, we're gonna have to come up with $247,216, if that's approved. So, motion to approve.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the grant request for the Sheriff's Department and the 50/50 grant, a total of $494,432, and the county match. I really don't have to put that.
You have that,
Yeah.
okay. Second?
And this will be ARPA funds.
Second?
And I'll second that.
Questions? Yeah, Rich?
You say this will be ARPA funds. Is that $247,000 coming from ARPA funds?
Yes, Bridget?
It will.
Yeah, we've got that available to do that.
Yes, that was already approved in the jail edition.
So this is just the official approval of that grant.
Well, this is a separate grant that's through the Missouri Department of Public Safety. So it is the state ARPA funds is where this is coming from.
Okay.
And then our portion is our ARPA funds that have already been approved for the jail additions.
Okay.
Rich, what we're doing, it's a different ARPA funding than what we approved before. This is the second one from the state, and we can use our ARPA money
Okay,
for the match.
so it doesn't come out of our general funds?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute, second question.
Yes.
Where is this? Where is this going to
Okay,
happen?
right now, the auto garage is located under the jail.
The jail out on.
Okay,
That's
now
out of
you pull
jail.
in crippled cars, have some gasoline storage, whether it's 5 gallon or 100 gallons, whatever it is,
Okay.
and chances for a spark, maybe buck lights a torch to cut something off. What can go wrong? So we're moving that maintenance area to its own building, separated by several feet from the jail, and it's in an all-metal building, and Buck will be entrusted with that area more than.
Buck will be entrusted with it.
Buck will be entrusted with that area. And there's signs up everywhere, no vulgar language.
Okay.
So,
And that's when we
All right,
go wrong.
thank you.
Rich, the bottom of the basement basically is gonna be kitchen, food storage.
Sure.
The trucks can pull right down, they'll be able to unload, and down there, there'll be plenty of storage. There's a couple other things we're putting in there.
and
It'll-
with the new roof that we just put on the jail, and with the repair of that leaking city valve,
Yes,
it's dried it up. And
Good.
so now we can safely do that.
good.
Yeah. Buck literally had a creek run across that for a while, of city water.
And it's also, right now, we can't store much food. I mean, operate a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Basic guidelines say that you need at least 30 days in case of a catastrophic event. And also, this allows us to buy in bulk, to buy cheap.
And I see those bills for food and bread and milk every week. There's a lot of food going through that
Yeah,
place.
I understand. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor, say aye. Thank you. Now I think we're going into what is on the agenda for the meeting. And this is a grant request from the emergency management, and Mr. Nick is going to be talking to us.
We're just seeking approval for the first grant. It's going to be a $50,000 grant that is non-matching. My plan is to purchase tornado sirens with the grant. They will cover up to $50,000. I did get a quote earlier this year for
No dollars.
for two tornado sirens, and it was, we would have to pay a little bit more than what that is, so.
I put that no dollar thing out because if it goes through seal bids, we can't have any published prices existing on that. So we want the people to have a fair and honest response to a seal bid.
Dan, where do you have an idea where these sirens will go?
We don't know how many there will be.
Yeah, it just kind of depends, you know. I personally, I would like to put one in the north, one in the south. I figured that this grant, this is the second year that this grant came out. Last year we got the truck on it, so I would envision that it would keep coming around until the funds dry up, or, you know, we're at their mercy. But I would like to try to do this every year, just try to get 2 out every year until we feel like we are covered enough.
Where do you think we're most vulnerable in the county?
Yeah, Terry Lock area is a good one. I mean, there's a lot of people there, and they don't have anything now. You know, the bigger subdivisions, I know, like other lake developments, Timberline, they have one. Goose Creek, they've got one. Iron Mountain Lake's got one. Lake Hanna doesn't have anything down there. Just places where you have a large group of people, would be the best place to start.
Are they connected, those sirens connected to the 911 system?
Timberline is not. I don't think Goose Creek is. Iron Mountain Lake is. These will, if we get them. It makes sense to have it, they push a button over there and the whole county goes off. To me, that makes more sense than having to wait for someone to run down and, you know, plug it in or push a button or do whatever. If they can set them off there, because they are there all the time anyway. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't make much sense to have somebody get out of bed, get dressed, run down to the firehouse and say, push a button or plug it in.
Are you familiar with, was it Rave Alert?
Mhm.
Can you get those people to quit saying St. Francois County?
We can try, but it's probably not gonna happen.
Okay. Work on that, please. Okay, motion?
I make a motion, we, do a grant request for the emergency management, Florence Directus for Nick, for the, 50,000, 2 sirens cost, or somewhere around 50,000.
It's not a matching grant.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the grant application is for 50,000 even.
Correct.
And then it's not a matching, so, and then if 2 or 3 or 5 sirens cost more than that, whatever the choice is, then we would have to pay anything above the 50. So that would determine how many more we buy. Okay, so is that all in your motion?
Yes.
Okay, second?
I'll second that.
Okay, questions? Bob?
I'm kind of concerned about the open-ended county cost. Well, when this occurs and we do take sealed bids, if it turns up to be excessive for the county to pay, do we have to accept it at that time?
No.
No.
No, we believe, based on his research, that the 50,000 will cover 1 siren, but not 2.
Okay.
So we think that's where we're staying in there. Okay, any other questions?
I would like, when you do bid this, they actually decide that will be put up, we don't put these up.
Oh, no, we
They
won't,
put 'em up.
we won't have to install it, we won't have to maintain it. I mean, the quote that I originally got, it was for 2 sirens. They maintain it, they put it up, it was solar powered, so we don't have to have electric to it, it'll have a battery in it, and pretty much, other than the battery, that might be the only cost, but it might be covered underneath the.
It will have a battery in it.
It will have a battery,
Yeah.
because there's, I mean, unless we hook it up to electric, but either way, under the solar, you're still gonna have to have a battery to charge it. with electric.
Well, then that's,
Yeah, and you'd have to have the battery because of power failure.
with,
Now, go ahead.
with the solar, then you can pretty well put it on a high, you don't have to worry about getting
You
electric.
can pretty much put it in there, as long as it'll get a radio signal for
That
them.
sounds
to set it
pretty
off.
good.
As long as it gets some sunlight. And this is strictly for tornado alert. Okay, any other questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Nick. IT, here you go again. Nick's looking for another grant. What encourages me is that most of our meetings now are for grant requests, and I enjoy that. Okay, Nick's wanting to purchase, okay, talk about it, Nick.
Yep, so the jail right now has a Cisco ASA firewall. It's about 6 years, 7 years old, somewhere around there. It's towards the end of life, so the cybersecurity grant would get us a new firewall out of the jail. We're looking to have it managed, so that would be, if anything's wrong with it, we call them and they fix it. We're also going to look at getting 50 new PCs, which is what we do every year anyway, so I'll just take care of that. And then we've also got it in the budget next year for laptops for the IT department, so we can scan network and find vulnerabilities.
Okay, when you call them and they come in and fix it, how much is the bill for that? Do we get that
If
bill?
it's managed, there's no.
Okay, so that's
So
part of
what'll happen
the
is-
purchase price?
Yeah, what'll happen with the managed, you'll have a monthly fee.
Service.
Which I'm 90% sure that we can get that into the quote. The grant will pay for the managed service for so many years.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, and it's a 10% match, so it's 108,000 that we'd be getting on the grant. Okay, did I get a motion on this?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the grant request from IT to purchase the state and local cyber security grant. And the grant amount would be $120,000 with a 10% match from the county.
Okay, second?
A second.
Questions?
Yeah, hey, Nick.
Yep.
When that goes down, you say it's managed, who manages it?
It'd be, there's several different companies, it just depends on who we buy the firewall from. So right now, the firewall we had, if we needed someone to come in and work on it, nobody will work on it because they want to manage their own. It's,
Okay.
you know, so that how it works, you know, right now we're just kind of at the mercy if somebody would work on it, it's going to be extremely expensive. The last time we had it worked on, I had to plead my case and pretty much beg these people, and it was $275 an hour for them to work on it.
Plus windshield time.
Yeah. And so if it goes down in the middle of the night, you pick up the phone and say, hey, it's down. They can try to remote enter. If they can't, they will come on site and switch it out. 'Cause
How How critical is this firewall for the jail?
Oh, very critical.
I mean-
That's the first line of defense on the network with everything.
First line of defense on a network for everything, is that just for the jail?
That, for the jail, yeah, we've got firewalls in every building, different networks. But this is the only one that's towards end of life.
And that, all of the police car computers, and everything's on this.
Is on that, is that system?
It can connect back to that system, yes. The records management, the Spillman network that we have out there for everybody that gets booked in, all that information's there. And if we don't have an updated firewall, I mean, it's just as easy for someone to go in and
So,
hack it.
so if I hear you correctly, this network is not just for the jail property, it's for pretty much the entire sheriff's department.
Yes.
While he's talking about that, the decision's gonna have to be made in the next few days about cybersecurity. You know, we talked about this, couldn't make a decision last year and decided to go ahead and purchase it. But since that time, they've raised their deductible to $40,000. They doubled their premium to $33,000. And the budget, we've got the hearing this next week, but you all will have to, before that time, decide if that's, because that's a lot of, for not much, and there's limits on the amounts too, it's not like an unlimited amount, so that's gonna have to be.
Because it's getting to be a sneaky world out there.
It is being a sneaky world, but the question is, do we self-insure or do we put out 70-something thousand before our first dollar is gotten back on it, and you'll have to take a look at that because our current cybersecurity drops in January.
Okay. Now, what is the total anticipated premium for that?
$33,000 some month.
Okay.
And
with
it's got a $40,000 deductible though if you have a
Yeah.
incident. So you're out.
They're gonna pay 40,
$77,000.
up to 40,000 no matter what,
We are,
up to 40,000.
correct, so we're gonna be out of pocket $70-something thousand before we get any insurance benefits, so that's pretty steep. Just this next week, that has to be decided.
No, you'll be out 40 before you get, well, you gotta pay the premium.
You gotta pay the
Okay.
premium first.
Yeah, I know that I've been working with the auditor's office. I have helped them fill out some paperwork, and they've sent off to try to get some more quotes, but I don't know where they're at that point.
Right.
Okay.
On that stuff, so.
I don't know if you can hear it, but my phone's going off in the other room.
Oh,
Okay, fire that guy.
That's right. Right back.
Okay, yeah, now, I have a motion and a second. Any more questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, local records preservation grant, here we go. Another grant, I enjoy that. Non-matching, I really enjoy that.
Magic, that's a wonderful one. Yeah, this is one we've done before. We're actually going through the Jefferson City to get this, and this is an ongoing thing that's been going on for quite a while. And this is for our marriage books only, and it's a scan project for the books that we have in our vault.
Scam?
Scan.
I thought he said
Been
scam
scamming
first.
it for
What
quite
kind
a
of
while
scamming
now.
project are we doing here?
To go along with it. It seems to be working, so. So we're just seeking permission to apply for the grant. And if we are approved for the grant, then we will put it out for bid at that time. So this is just.
That's the maximum amount on the grant.
That's the maximum, through estimates that we've gotten. We're probably gonna be, we originally asked for 21 books to be copied or scanned, and it looks like we might be able to ask for a few bit more, because a little bit more to try to use the full 15,000, because they don't want to leave you with, if it's 11,000,
get
they give you
change back.
15, they don't like that, so.
on this scam bid, we're not gonna let some rich Ethiopian prince bid on it or anything, who's trying to give his money
You're
away.
saying the scam bid.
Oh, well, that's a.
Yeah, I've got hearing aids now. I can-
I think I need some of those
Yeah.
too.
Did I tell you I'm gonna have to have yours pierced? With mask, glasses, and hearing aids, I need some other place to hang stuff in my
My
ears.
son-in-law's got one of those, and I just can't look at him.
Anyway, may not do that,
Can't look
okay.
him in straight
Okay,
eye.
back to the meeting. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we give permission to seek a local records preservation grant for the 15,000 for the recorder of deeds office.
Second?
Second.
Question? Bridget, are you happy with that?
Yep.
Yep, I thought you would be. Okay.
It's not ARPA funds.
Not matching. It can be, not matching. Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, change order. Last week, we had a change order that Spire wanted to change, I think, $2,600 worth of work to relocate the gas line around the new building they're putting at Juvenile Detention Center. This is the same thing, except it's another building addition at the jail. So they need to move their gas line. This will be a little bit more expensive, $3,200, $1,707. So, motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve for Spire to relocate the gas service line at the jail for $3,217.07.
Second?
And this will be ARPA funded.
Second?
I'll second this.
Okay, and like I said, last week was for 2,600 something. It was a smaller change or smaller distance. And and that was at JDC. This is the jail, two distinct different projects. Okay, any questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Other business that may arise, anybody got correspondence?
Sheriff, when is the Shop with the Cop again? Is that the
Shop with the Cop will be this Friday the 16th
16th? Okay.
at Farmington Walmart at 7:30 in the morning. Everyone's welcome to come and participate or just watch. Makeup day will be the following Thursday, the 22nd, and that will be at noon at the Lowe's Walmart.
So this one is in the morning at Walmart.
In Farmington.
Okay. Are the kids out of school then?
They will be, yes.
Okay.
And
Because of you or because of other things?
no, the ones that are not in school will bring them in the buses, so.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, no, that was correspondence. Okay. Public comments? Departmental reports.
I just have one update. You all earlier, about a year ago, passed an incentive program for people not to abuse their sick time, where we're going to pay out any amount over the max for the 35-hour employees, it's $700. The others is $800. And I'll give you a report probably next week on the total amount paid out. And 25 people will be paid out for some as much as 120 more additional hours, which is good. The other thing we found, though, is that there's a lot of people that are using their sick days as soon
They burn them
as you set them up for when they're actually sick, and it's obvious after 5 to 10 years that if they're using them without any long-term illness and they're using them every month, they are not using them for the intended purpose. So you might have to take a look at that sometime. We can look and see how other companies do that when people are abusing them, as we give them.
All these ones are gonna have Christmas money, might be the ones that say, oh, I wish I had some of that.
Well, they're getting paid out in the second pay of this month.
And it's what percentage of what
It's
would be?
60% of the amount over the max, so over 700 people,
They can still keep their max,
they keep max.
but this is anything over that.
Okay.
Okay. Just last week, I heard about one of our employees that burned every hour of sick days. And now that person needs sick days, they don't have anything. It's going to be a financial loss to them. So people need to remember that possibility.
Yeah, it takes.
Relatively young person, but they can get sick too.
We expect them to take off when they're sick, but they shouldn't be scheduled.
We don't want them
sick
ever
days
sick.
at paid days off. We give up an ample amount, 120 hours a year for that purpose, besides the all paid holidays and the sick. So we require doctors' notes on extended. It may get to the point where we need to show that they're actually sick if they're using all their time off.
Anything under 120 hours of road and bridge, you're required to have a doctor's note, even if it's one day. That's just something.
What?
Anything under 120 hours, if the employee's total is 120 hours or less, we require a doctor's note for even one day.
If they're going to use sick pay.
Yeah, that's something we put in place.
And that's something we.
I mean, that's just a road and bridge. That's not countywide. That's just something we put in place.
This next year, we're going to focus on updating our policy system. That's going to be a major focus for us. And so, you know, this year was CBiz and all that. Well, next year it's gonna be policy. And there are companies out there that do that. One of our problems now with policy, which is what we're kind of referring to, is that practically every day in the United States there's some court decision that would change our policy to some extent. Well, these companies that you can hire to keep your policy book up will let you know that there's this item needs to be added to that item or whatever. So the way we set up now, there's just no way to keep that up to date. So we're looking at that for next year.
So I'll just come back to you though, by the end of the year, to say, tell how much money
Yeah.
was actually
Okay,
paid out.
very good.
I know you'd asked that back a year ago, to give us, let us know how it went, so.
Any other departmental reports? Nick?
Just want to let everybody know that the camera is not working, so this will not be on YouTube later.
Good. My joke about the piercing of the ears won't go out.
Yeah.
My lame jokes won't go out. Dan, you said something.
I did on policy, sheriff department, if you're like, take a sick day Friday, and then Monday, we require you to have an excuse because it was 3 days, even though you weren't scheduled to work those 3 days. And that's not in the policy, it's something we have.
Can they take vacation days?
Yes.
Suddenly?
Suddenly, no. No, have
That'd be pre-planned on
Have to be
that.
approved.
Okay. Okay, Nick, you said the camera was working. What about the audio?
Audio's working, just
There
not.
goes the lame joke again.
Just want-
Okay. Any other departmental report? Okay, Parks, you want to talk about this?
Oh, yeah. Yep, we're gonna head over there in about 15 minutes.
Over there is out there.
To, head over to Pasta House to pick
Oh,
up
okay.
food. But hopefully by 11:15-ish, by the time we get over here, maybe even 11:30, somewhere 11:15, 11:30. But all the elected officials that participated and chipped in and put on the meal for all the, not everybody here, anybody that's helping us with the county employees and just anybody that's part of these meetings.
And there's no expense to anyone except to the elected
And no,
officials.
we didn't want to know it was our second year, we didn't want anybody, any employees responsible for making anything, we wanted it to be an easy deal and just show our appreciation to the amazing group of people we get to work with, and that makes this county run so strong, so, yeah, to show our appreciation, but it should be a nice feast. We're gonna have Mount Suvius chicken, grilled and fried, salad, mascacholi, fettuccine, pasta broccoli, toasted ravioli, rolls, and then Carrie picked up a cake, and we'll have some refreshments out there too.
Yeah,
so.
obviously.
And that's a file photo, and there's not one item in that picture that'll be there.
I was gonna say, I'd like to trade my zucchini for fried corn.
Okay, so y'all know that, and Laura, you're invited. You know, all of our regular visitors here, Rich, you're invited.
Oh, no.
You're
And you can go too.
That's why, somebody said, oh, no, that's why.
I came to visit you guys. I've been out of the state for 10 days.
And we, I mean, what?
And we thank God.
I've been extending foreign relations on behalf of
Miracle
the
of
state
Christmas
where
is
I'm
here.
happy. And by the way, Merry Christmas, that was your gift.
And you've lost control.
Okay, so you, our regular attenders in this meeting are invited to this too. So thank you, Merry Christmas to all. We just really appreciate your attendance and your cooperation. It's very important. You know, we've had some complaints in the past about not having these meetings in the evening. We want our elected officials to be here, and this is the easy way for them to be here. We suspect that attendance will slow down considerably with an evening meeting. So that's one reason I've never pushed that. Okay, and now with normally the camera working, which is Nick's fault. So those other people can be involved with it.
Harold, I do have one thing I want to say. We do have, people are listening on Feasel Road. We have a meeting on Feasel Road tonight at 6 p.m. in the commission chambers here. On
In this room? In this room?
Yes, in this room. Yeah.
And is that for the road widening thing?
Yes, for the road widening.
From the bridge on out to Feaser, they're going to move telephone poles and needed a little bit more easement agreement out there for that. So that's what this is about.
We are working on it. Yeah.
Now, is that enough publication, enough notice time? Okay. Any other departmental reports?
It's just gonna add to Sheriff Dan said back about the shopping the cop. I think most people know what a great deal that is,
Yeah.
but I was fortunate to help out last year
and just kind of tell a little story of it. A little girl that fortunately she got stuck with me, but we were going through there, and I said, you know, we have this money, what do you want to buy? And right off the bat, I said, I've never been able to buy my mom anything for Christmas. She never gets anything for Christmas. She takes care of us kids. And she said, I really want to buy her something. The very first thing the little girl wanted to do was go buy. We got her a hat that she was really into, and I just what a cool deal. It's not just giving these kids gifts; it's teaching these kids to give a gift to someone you love and to show your appreciation. That was all she cared about, was giving that gift to that.
I think Dan's mentioned in the past that a big percentage of those kids do that.
Yep. I mean,
They
it's
buy for
really
somebody
cool.
else.
Yeah, just show what it's
Dan,
about.
the procedure, you have so much money per child.
I have $100 tax-free.
Okay.
An officer or a citizen that wants to come and help and go buy whatever they want.
Okay, so do you give the kids the money, or how
They
does it
get a
work?
voucher, and then we settle up with Walmart after they've all been through the lines and the
Okay.
vouchers are turned in, and then we settle up with them.
So if it's $99 or $110, you still take care of that?
We do, but normally we don't have to because the officers and the citizens usually get in their pockets.
I thought maybe it's 110, you go outside and arrest their mother.
If you show up, make sure you bring some spare change.
Yes, bring it.
Yeah.
Because you will, if it goes up, you're not gonna tell this little kid no if it's a couple of times.
Yeah.
That kid, I made sure that kid still got $100 worth of presents for themselves. I just covered the gift for the parent, because it's just how important that is to show that. You wanna make sure they're getting.
Well, I got
what
5 kids, so I'll let you take a shot.
And another thing, they also keep a little couple dollar gifts right there also, so if they're only, like, say they're 98, and then, oh, here's $2, and they'll make sure that those kids.
Walmart helps too.
Yes, they do, and that's
They do, and
awesome.
It's very important that kids get a good report going with the police officers, because the only time they see us is if Uncle Harry or Mom or Dad, somebody's going to jail, and it's a bad experience for them, and we want them to know if there's something wrong, contact us, we're there to help.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Well, I had parks one year, I went out and helped them, and you're right, I kept ending up back at a bicycle. We'd walk through the aisles and he'd pick, and then we always end up back by the bicycle. He ended up getting a bike. Yeah, you had.
Only had one wheel on it because it's over $100.
So what a great event that our sheriff's department puts on and supports. It's just pretty awesome.
Thank you, Dan. What's your total budget on that?
It's, well, it depends on how many kids we end up with, and if anyone has any names of kids that they think need help or necessary, get them to us. We've got a little extra money right now, so we're still adding kids. We've got 500 and something right now.
What's the deadline on that?
I have taken it right up on the day if something.
Show up at the front door at the time. They
One
come
year
in.
we had a house fire with 5 little kids in it, and they lost everything, and so we went and got them, brought them in.
Okay. Okay, any other departmental reports? Next meeting is right here next week. And we do have a special meeting, budget hearing, on the 19th of December, 10 a.m. in this room. And this is our budget hearing for the 2023 budget. So the public is welcome. And I guess there'll be printed copies of that on the website or what, Nick?
Yeah, if we get it, yeah, absolutely.
If you get it. So you don't have it yet. We've got our proposed budget. We've looked through it, but it's 20 some odd pages, 6 pages, I believe. So, anyway, if we can
Work
get
with the
that.
auditor's office on the current, because it won't be the approved budget, because you're still making
It's
revisions
proposed.
and change, so the proposed budget, and put that on the website, so, and it's statutory that we have to have this.
Yeah, and the printout you get, the last column before the 23 budget shows that year to date, and that's, of course, what, 20 or 10% lower, and it looks like we're really increasing that. If they go back a couple of columns, they'll see what it was for this year. So it's a little bit hard to read that, the proposed budget we have. Okay, questions on that? Okay, next item.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Don't forget, 11:15, show up out here. Don't go to the restaurant before you get it.